All right, everyone. We have my dear friend Jeff Fargo out of Las Vegas, Nevada. There's a few people in the industry that I meet across the country that really stand out, that have a giant brain, that just are sponges and then actually take action. And Jeff is one of those. So, Jeff, really excited to have you on. You've got a wealth of information. Not only that, you've gone through a few different turbulent markets from 2001 and beyond. And I'd like to pick your brain a little bit about that. But first, let's introduce who you are and some of your background.
Sure. Thank you, Travis. You're the man. Someday I hope to be as handsome as you. It's never going to happen, but you're a stud inside and out. So I'm honored to be. I'm honored to be here.
There's a lot of plastic surgery that went into this. You should have seen me before.
I want your doctor, dude. I'm coming to Albuquerque in a second. As long as he takes Groupon, I'm in. So I've been in this space for years. I was doing organic advertising on MySpace back in 01, 02. Was also doing real estate during 9/11 in upstate New York, and then subsequently was in southern Utah, and I was a commercial broker for Coldwell Banker, and I was there during the crash of 05, and have been playing in the digital space. My gosh, 5 years ago, I was doing Periscope videos and doing live stream videos here for agents in the greater Las Vegas Valley, and was one of the first ones through Facebook's algorithms to get Facebook Live here in Las Vegas. And so I've trained hundreds of agents on thousands of properties on how to leverage video, and now the granular application of data as well, and to take that video, whether organic or paid, or that content, whether organic or paid, leverage data, and then move your brand forward to buy and sell more homes and to get people happy along the path of home ownership or to sell their home. And that's kind of just what I do. And I am I'm the division manager for North American Title, but also I oversee digital strategy nationally for North American Title. And we're a $200 million title and escrow company in 19 different states.
So right now is a really interesting time. And you're seeing it in Las Vegas. Like before we jumped on, we talked about how the entire strip, right? All pretty much every casino, every hotel is closed down for the next 30 days, which is really hard for me to wrap my head around. It's an enormous amount of money every hour, right? I can't even fathom how many trillions of dollars are not being pumped through. So, right now is a unique time in terms of real estate, how everyone is conducting business. So I'd like to hear a couple different things. One from your perspective in title, about how you guys are setting expectations and operating as an essential business, as part of the banking institution, right, that still needs to operate, and that you're still doing closings, you're still seeing things. And then I'd like to hear some more of strategy that you would implement in today in the next 6 months of hedging your bet against the market.
Sure. Right now, what's going on here, the governor of Nevada announced last night that effective noon today, all non-essential businesses are closed for a minimum of 30 days. The schools closed down last week, and they're supposed to reopen in April, but that's going to get extended. And so it's a whole new ball game here on which we are to play with. And we have $23 billion worth of construction projects underway here. We're building a $2 billion football stadium. We're going to be the home of the Raiders. And guess what? People are still working on it. They're still doing that. A lot of things have gotten shut down. There's a lot of, small business owners that are getting shut down and hoping for money from the government. But there's folks, we're seeing deals that are dropping out right now because it's people that own businesses, and their source of income right now is unknown. They just don't know what's going to go on without lack of some type of direction from the government. That's what's going on. But like, you mentioned before, and I talked about, every 10 to 15 years this happens. I'm sorry, but it just does. No. And I was, fortunate enough to learn a lot going through 9/11 and being in New York. but then also going through the subprime bubble burst in '05 and did deals still. In this type of market, I think it's something we talked about earlier. I think that this is going to make the good realtor great, and it's going to make the so-so realtor go to work at Costco or 7-Eleven, which makes it better for those top performing agents. Then there's a higher chance that the person on the other side of the deal is extremely competent, returns phone calls, returns emails, and is much better, for the entire transaction. I think that we're going to see several thousand agents kneecapped, and they're going to be out of the business. And you know what? That's okay. The cream rises to the top. And so
it is anytime these events happen. And like you said, I jumped into my real estate career like 2001. There's a recession. 2005 and then 2008, right? All of those. And every time that we saw the amount of real estate agents, kind of shrink.
Yeah, constricts. Yeah.
In those that were, and you can speak a little bit more, probably more in depth to this, but those that, especially today, those that have systems in place,
yeah,
right? Those that actually have a sphere of influence that they're nurturing, yeah, those that have leads that they've generated and have, CRMs and have like all these systems and marketing in place. Those are the ones that typically not just survive, but they thrive because they can leverage those systems. Is that something that you've seen in your history?
Absolutely. I think that, if you prepare to fail because you fail to prepare. And so, unless people have a CRM and or some type of follow-up protocol in place, and they have goals for who they're going to be going after, and they have a lead generation system in place, or even just, staying in front of your SOI, you will not be successful in this market. This is going to change things for how we do business and how realtors do business for years to come. There's going to be a much longer now tail on business because things are going to be going more digital, and realtors want everything done yesterday. Well, title plants are backed up right now. And so we're trying to get stuff done as fast as we can, but also it has to be done accurately. That's the number one thing for a title company, is we have to get free and clear title on a property. So it's got to be done right. So that's what's going on. I think that for agents right now, the biggest thing that they could be doing is still humanize the conversation as best they can, given the social constrictions that we're now put up against. No more coffees at Starbucks, but instead of, like, if you're going to text somebody, shoot a video of yourself. Just pick up your freaking phone and say what you're going to say into your phone, and then send that little 10-second, 20-second video to that person. And that nurtures that relationship. The more you can put yourself on video and inform people in a one-on-one basis, or through Facebook Live or stuff on Instagram or IGTV or even YouTube to hit a broader audience, you become the source, or the source of information. And people right now just want stability. We're not getting it from the federal government. We're not getting it globally, but they want to know from their realtor what's going on. Can they still sell their house? Should they wait? Is it good time to buy a house? Should they wait? You need to be gathering as much information as possible from either your lender, your title, relationships you have, whomever, and be sure to be constantly sharing that information, and share it at light speed. As soon as you hear it, share it. Last night, the governor of California went ahead and announced the 30-day shutdown for all non-essential business. About 10 minutes after he made his announcement, I did a Facebook Live, because I knew that of the hundreds of agents that we work with here, they're all going to say, are you guys still going to be open? Are you a non-essential business? And so it's getting ahead of everybody else. And now I'm even, because again, I'm nuts, and you know that, and I try to put a sense of humor on everything, because if you can't laugh at what we do, you're going to be in the freaking nut house. Even though I have Aetna and I'm well medicated and have a great therapist, I still got to keep this crap funny, or else I'm done. And so, I'm now using the hashtag Corona closings, and we have people coming in, still, like, not as frequent, but a couple folks came in today for closings. And so we had them put on, medical grade gloves, and we're showing them signing with the gloves on. And some of it's tongue in cheek, because stuff is so serious right now, and there's people dying, and it's awful. But you know what? If you can't put a smile on your face and laugh a little bit, we're done. Then we're all done, and then we could all go be go be accountants or something, or go be lawyers and be serious.
Yeah, my mindset is a big part of getting through a lot
Yeah.
of these downturns, right? And this one is a little unusual because it's the economy up until this moment has been really strong. If you think 2008, some of those other kind of things, there was basically, no banks were lending money. It was a credit crunch.
Yeah.
So businesses couldn't operate, builders couldn't, build, people couldn't buy because it was a credit crunch. And the lenders couldn't lend. But that was 2008. And still, there was a lot of people that did really well, right, directly during that and during after that, if they position themselves right. This one's a bit unusual, but it does come down to a positive mindset and really focusing on your sphere of influence.
Yeah.
Because the people that know you, love you, and trust you, your past leads, pretty much everyone, your local community, now is the time to really start to, like I said, communicate with them and use different tools and systems
Yeah.
and really build, well, have the opportunity now to also kind of reflect on your systems and go through and saying, one, do I have a system, right? Do I actually have a system in place? What I mean by that is, do you have a automation sequence to send out text and emails? Do you have a newsletter? Do you have some sort of email software to send out emails? Do you have a Zoom account to record videos or do screen share, right? All of those little things that, yes, they cost money, but I can tell you now from what we've built, we've been able to achieve a lot with a really small crew of people by leveraging systems online. I mean, we're kind of like the Navy SEALs of digital marketers. And I think a lot of great, smart real estate agents and teams out there operate in a very similar fashion, because you can get so much done with a small amount of people when you have the right software systems and tools in place. And more than ever, really being able to be visible in this kind of social media storm, right? Being visible and showing up in people's news feed again and again and again, so that there one is some sort of relatable, relevant leadership that they can look at to as someone that's a local pillar within the community. So moving forward for the next 4 to 6 months, what advice, what's a strategy that you would tell people to build out and focus on so they can not just survive, but they can also thrive and pick up market share, where you said some of the other agents that can't or equipped with social media marketing and knowing how to leverage systems and emails, they're going to be really kind of like pushed out of the business. What would you do?
The two things that I'm all in on right now, one is gathering amazing content. I'm a big fan of Google News and have a customized news feed that if it's 2 o'clock in the morning and I can't sleep, I'm on my phone looking at news and stuff that I can go ahead and bank that content and blast it out, that following morning. So first of all, it is being the first to be able to present that type of news to people. It's great for talking points as well. That's the kind of stuff you could be sending to folks on Facebook Messenger to really personalize the content and go, hey, John, saw this and was thinking of you. And that's it. Do not mention, hey, you're still looking for a house, or if you want to, if you're still looking to buy, I'm your guy. No, you're fired. Get out. It's more of nurture, nurture, nurture. And you want to really also be, secondly, how can I help? What can I do to help you? How are you? How's your family? How are your kids doing? Is there anything you guys need? I got some extra rolls of toilet paper. Don't tell anybody, but you want to get hooked up? I know I got a guy, little things like that. It's much more humanizing and personalizing the nurturization process of lead generation. That's what is going to be critical right now. And so the more you can stay in front of folks on a granular level with one-on-one touches, video text, Facebook Messenger, DMs, whatever. And then also a balance of Facebook Lives, Instagrams, IGTV, so there's a balance between both of those that you need to strike. But it has to be either relevant content on the giant level, on a macro level, micro level. It's much more of a touch. Hey, I know you, I know who you are, I know your spouse and your kids. How can I help? How can I be a resource to you? I have extra cold and flu medication. Do you want some? I'm happy to leave it on your porch.
Yep.
Stuff like that. That's what we need to start doing. And a big one that I'm pushing right now is, with the whole COVID-19 is older folks, seniors, people in their 70s and 80s and up, or people with previous and have respiratory disorders. Check on those people. Do you have people that are, that are neighbors that fall into those categories, or are there people in your SOI that fall into those categories?
Yeah.
Double and triple check on those people, make sure they're okay, and take all of what we're doing out of it, because in 60 to 70 years, my friend, we're gone. We're ashes and dust. But how we treat people now and how we are, good stewards of just being a human being and good parents and good spouses is going to create memories that'll last forever.
Yeah. And really, now is the time to not be tone deaf, right? Where you're focused purely just on, I need a deal, right? Because I'm freaked out and I need to, sell. I know that things can definitely, your mind can get crunched, and you're just like, I'm exhausted. I had 2 deals fall apart. I'm not quite sure, what and you just putting stuff out there that's just like, hey, hit me up, or, if you need to buy or sell. So come from compassion. I think, in the next probably 4 to 6 weeks, it's going to be really a lot of what you just mentioned. And then after that, you are building these connections, right? Being visible in communication is really key, but show that you're active. A lot of the community is going to really look to people that are on the front lines of the real estate financial industry and say, should I freak out or not, based on what they're saying, right? So I think being positive, showing that you're active, updating people on success. And I think social proof is more important now than ever in terms of telling people this house just sold for $10,000 over asking in the middle of all of this, right? Create stories around the success, right? Document everything that you can that leads to a successful story, but also come from a heart of compassion. And you're going to see that people are going to gravitate towards that, right? People are going to really see that there's success in the market. Like right now, some of the things that I'm seeing, I had one of our clients say, they just had 3 closings this week, and they have another 5 contracts, signed and ready to go. That's in the middle of all of this. And otherwise, if I hadn't seen that, or other people hadn't seen that, you would think, well, their business shut down, right? There's nothing going on. So that's a big part of it, is that we are consuming all of this information directly off of our phones and social media. And it is just like, really bad information that can crush your soul, and the information that lifts you up and lets you know that there's light at the end of the tunnel, and there's still things, still business happening, right? There's still moving forward. And so now is the time to really reach out, communicate with your community, be the steward of your community. And if you're having success stories, document them, right? And let people know that business is still going on per usual, right? But with the right precautions in place. So what kind of tools would you suggest that folks use to either email or do video or keep in touch, or is it just like straight to the core, open your phone, record it, send a video message?
I love BombBomb. BombBomb is a great tool. To me, it's because you can not only track the content, you can see who opens it, when they open it, how many times they open it, if they're clicking on links. everything. And then you can call that person up and go, hey, Judy, I sent you an email yesterday. Did you get it? And you freaking know that Judy opened that damn thing 20 times and shared
Right.
it 45 times. It's gold. And just full disclosure, I have no affiliate relationship or partnership with BombBomb. It's just a great platform, and I love it. Something else that I've been sending out, and I pulled up the website, washyourlyrics.com. And what it does is you can enter your favorite song. I did like We Are the Champions, and it shows people in an infographic and clip art as you're washing your hands and you're singing this song, and it shows the lyrics underneath for when you're doing this or you're washing your nails and all that, and you're singing a song to yourself that lasts exactly, or sections of a song that last 20 seconds.
Yeah.
I just sent that out to over 14,000 realtors here in Southern Nevada, and I'm at about a 16% open rate, which is incredible. For realtors to open up something from a title guy, from a title company, and I'm over 7% or 6% open rate is crazy. So washyourlyrics.com. Right now it's pertinent, it is effective, and it's something that, you know, anybody can do, and it's free. It's a free website. You can go on and do it and download it and post it on your Facebook page.
Here's some things that, so I think that, you know, kind of future casting a little bit here, that listings are going to be really important, right?
Yes.
Moving forward. Now, I mean, because when you list, you get interested buyers, and you typically get a listing from those buyers or the neighbors, right? And it's a compounding effect. That I would start to choose 1 to 2 topics a week, right, for the next 5 to 6 weeks, where you can walk people through your listing process. I would do a listing presentation online, assuming that homeowners are watching. And I would just go live with the idea and record it, that you're gonna, you know, basically state to, you know, a few of my clients or prospective clients asked if I could put on a presentation to show them how I market homes in today's market, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, this is for anyone that wants to know if there's interested, you know, in the future, you know, our business continues. So whoever's watching, this is how we actually market properties. And then take them through, right? Actually do it as you're there with a client, walking through the process, and show, you know,
correct.
We do it, you know, a video tour. We have a drone, you know, that does, you know, goes over the property. We blast it out on social media, you know, and then weave in there some case studies or some stories of properties that you have sold. Turn it into an actual event, right? Online. And then once you have that out there on your Facebook Live, and let's say you do it through Zoom like this, that we are today, you can record it. You can also do Facebook Live through here, but you would record it, capture that, and then turn that into an ad. And I would then run that ad to your sphere of influence, right? Upload a CSV file into Facebook. And you never know who's going to watch it and be, you know, inspired to say, you know what, I never knew that you guys marketed properties that way. We're actually thinking of selling or need to sell because we're going to be, you know, moving or whatever it might be. And so I would just take these certain topics and elements of your business on what you do and say, you know, I've never really shared with my friends and family and everyone online exactly some of like what my day looks like or the things that I do with buyers. And I thought I'd kind of take you through behind the scenes, peek behind the curtain, and show you exactly kind of what we do and how we set this up. And then interview a lender, right? Interview someone that's in title, interview these different people, where I really wouldn't hone too much on the critical things that are happening now, because the other person might spin off into like a whole pandemic fear factor.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the sky is falling,
dude,
you know, be like, no, it's
Walking
not,
Dead, dude. Walking Dead. Yeah.
Right. That's not the angle we're going towards.
Road Warrior. Yeah. I get it.
So have them explain more of their business. So there's normalcy.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit more just explanation and not like, you know, the sky is falling, because we've got already, you know, so much of that. Every person has so much of that going on right now in their life. We don't need more.
I agree.
So I think just taking those elements and starting to then produce them into little little mini clips that give people information on how you do and what you do and why you do, and introduce, your team. Say, bring them all on, right? On a Zoom call, you would say, this is my buyer's agent, right? This is my seller's agent, right? This is what they do. This one handles transactions. This is our, a person that just handles marketing. And then take them through that process, and then just put those videos out, but also record them and run them as video view ads, or use the reach objective and push that out to your whole sphere of influence, because that's going to make an impact over
right.
time.
And then retarget.
Yeah.
And that's and that's it. Another platform that I pimp out all the time is Box Brownie.
Yes.
I love those guys. I know that you've worked with them.
Yeah.
They're a bunch of crazy Australians, and man, they do good work. And their turnaround time is like 24 to 48 hours. I have agents here in Southern Nevada that before they go on a listing appointment, they're pulling up old, Zillow photos that somebody else had, and they're going in and doing a day to dusk filter, or digital item removal, or digital staging, and going in and say, or even now emailing it, not going in anymore, but emailing, going, hey, this is what your house looks like, but once I list it, this is the stuff I'm going to be doing for you. Right. And I already went ahead and made the investment because I'm so confident what I do as a realtor that I know that I'm the best fit to sell your home.
And here's the thing that's going to make a big difference in listing presentations moving forward, which is people are going to say, how do you digitally market my home? Because there's going to be a huge, and this is going to go away, right? Which it is, like everything else, right? These come and they cause panic and destruction, and then they move on, and the music turns back on at some point.
Exactly right.
So there's going to be a good majority of people, though, are still going to be a little kind of, freaked out and skittish, and try to have an understanding of how do you market online, because they're going to have this whole new world and impression on marketing online, because everyone is in their homes, glued to their phones, social media, right? We see the impact of marketing, and these people are going to be well-trained and versed, and when they come out of this, and hyper aware that if you aren't marketing online, you don't exist, right? And if your home isn't being seen online, it doesn't exist. So showings, walk-ins, open houses, right? Those will continue. That's great. But there's going to be a dividing line where someone is going to truly have more appreciation and empathy and understanding if you say, we market online, and we market on social media, we market in these ways, and we actually, really make a big impact. People are going to have a lot more appreciation for that.
Exactly right. It is literally, and it's something that we've talked about for years. It's telling your story. It's not being bashful. It is, get over the fact that you're a 50-year-old man with an oily T-zone, and you're bald, and you have bags under your eyes because you're 50, and you have 3 kids, and the youngest one is 4 and a redhead, and he hardly sleeps. And I love him, especially around text time, but oh my gosh. And so, and from being a dad too. And so it's sharing the good, bad, and ugly of who you are, personalizes who you are to your audience. That it's not all unicorns jumping through rainbows, that you struggle just like everyone else does, and you have challenges just like everyone else does, and that will attract more people to you. Things like that. And then also for folks that do a lot of produced videos, put blooper reels in. The ones where you're laughing and you flub up your lines are some of the funniest ones ever, and get the highest amount of engagement, because it shows your fallibility and shows that you're human.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, it does. It's those things that break those barriers, right?
Yeah.
And build trust right away is just being human. Yeah. And showing.
That's it. We all can't look like you or Brad Pitt or Tristan, it's just, we all didn't hit the genetic lottery. So you better be freaking funny, or you better do something else to bring value to people, so they can look, because you've got about 1.5 seconds to get someone's attention, and you need a thumb stopper. And the average person is driving on the highway, and they're in the passing lane going 70 miles an hour. So you better do something that's super cool, that's going to stop their thumb. And that's something that we've talked about for years. Oh, yeah. It is humbling yourself. It is, the worst video is the one that you don't post. So get over yourself. It's okay. Just, for I know a lot of times that's men and women are like, well, I don't know, I got to shoot this again, or my hair's not right. You know what? Put your hair in a ponytail, put a hat on. It's okay.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. It's more about what you're saying rather than what you look like is much more important and valid.
I don't think anyone really likes the way that they sound, right, or the way that
Yeah.
they look on film. So it is just getting over it, right, and pushing it out, because
Yep.
you have a voice, you have a story, you have information that others don't. Whether you
Right.
believe it or not, there's information that homeowners and home buyers would love if they had part of your brain. And so you need to just broadcast it and put it out there. One of the apps that I've used in the past that I really enjoy, that allows you to brand yourself. So on a Facebook Live, on the bottom there, you can have, Travis Tom's, realty,
Great.
right? And have something there. Is Switcher Go Pro. So Switcher Go Pro, it's easy for your phone to have it on your phone. And you can create like a PNG graphic on like Snappa or Canva, upload your logo, get a PNG, and then put it right there on the bottom. Or use something like, it is called Lightstream Studio. Lightstream Studio, which is for the desktop version. And it has also, you can kind of place those things in the lower thirds or
Yeah,
up
lower
here.
third ad. Yeah, the lower third branding is, and that's critical. That it's the two things that are critical are consistent branding in the video, and if you're doing stuff on, well, anywhere now, is making sure that there is captions, because you've got at least 80% of the person that's watching your video has their phone set to silent and or mute, so they're not going to hear a freaking thing that you're saying. So make sure that Facebook business stuff has auto caption, which is pretty good. But there's captioning services out there. They're like, $1 a minute. Rev is great. And so make sure that if you're doing longer, more, how-tos or storytelling type stuff, as often as you can, make sure that the videos are captioned. And then people are gonna read them. It's just, again, it's the attention to detail that you put into your marketing is a true sign of how the attention to detail that you do for everything else.
Yeah.
And, the entire process of how you're going to take care of them in listing and selling their home. The first thing they're going to see is a video of you. So make sure it's the best you can possibly make it. And if you look like me, you can still do a decent video and get listings. It used to work for me. And I have a bunch of realtors here that think that I do a good job for them. So knock on wood, we do okay.
So let's do kind of a quick recap, which is one, that you need to be visible, right? That you should, now is the time to really kind of analyze and look at your systems. If you don't have systems, start to look at the agents, right?
Yeah.
And people that do have systems. And even outside of your industry, right? There's tons of articles and great information on how to really leverage CRMs, social media, different tools, everything from BombBomb to Switcher Go Pro, so that you can start to leverage the tools that you can use to really basically amplify your message online.
Right.
Also, amplify your successes, right? Now's the time to really make sure that everyone is aware of, if you're having 3 closings, if you had 5 people go under contract, if you just sold a house, that there's something to be kind of braggadocious about, sold 10,000, over asking, or only 10 days on the market, whatever it is. Amplify that message. Your positivity will make people feel better, calm, that there's a little bit more certainty through you as the beacon, and then being compassionate, right? Reaching out to all of your friends, family, past clients, and coming from a place of compassion with a sprinkle of humor in there to kind of enlighten them, so they know that because I think it's one of those situations where if you're panicking, we're panicking.
Correct.
So we need to make sure that we're delivering the right message at the right time to those folks.
Yep.
And then really get and hone your craft with really being able to pitch online, and make sure that you're not bashful on video, that you can actually deliver a message where people are going to watch and it resonates with them, doing a listing presentation, right?
Yeah.
Whatever it might be, so all of those, just really be visible, start to leverage all of these great social media tools. You don't really have to put a lot of money into it. And you can have some great success with it. But with
No.
the biggest
Yeah.
mistake that I think I saw in 2008 from a lot of people is the first thing they did, because they had different coaches, that were telling them, they've never gone through anything like this. They said, you need to stop marketing, right? You've got money
Yeah.
putting into marketing and these different, so people would
Yeah.
go through, and I saw this like on a record level where people that used to be sending out email newsletters from, Constant Contact or Mad Mimi or Campaign Monitor or Infusionsoft,
Mm-hmm.
whatever it was, they cut off their yes, I'm not going to pay that anymore because I need to save money. So they cut off their communication lines of email marketing and email newsletters and autoresponders, those things. And so it's like, okay,
Yeah.
one, you just cut off your ability to really communicate
Crazy.
at mass scale, right?
Yeah. Crazy.
Get open rates. And then from there, they stopped running, ads, right? So they cut off the market. So it's okay. Now you just cut off the fact that you're not visible to people that are in your market that are going to be able to, that are planning on still buying or selling in the near future.
Yeah.
And then people were cutting off, just these different items that were, kind of keystones of any business that, advertising brings in sales, and marketing, right, brings in sales and builds trust and builds that community. Those are people that are going to buy with you and sell with you 5, 6, 8 months down the line. And if you cut stuff off now, 7 months from now, you're going to feel the pain of cutting that off. Right?
You're absolutely in trouble. I think that something we touched on earlier, just in closing, is like Zoom is a amazing platform that I've been using forever, as of you. Zoom is something that every realtor should be on, because you could do stuff like this. Oh, well, where's this guy from? Now, of course, Vegas is now shut down, so you won't see any of this, but there's nothing that says you couldn't have, say, if you're talking to somebody about getting their listing, you could have their home behind you. And you could be talking to them about, hey, I'm all in to market your home at 123 Main Street. Or you could do something like, hey, I did goat yoga with my daughter over the weekend.
Nice.
And they called him Pancake, and there's my daughter, Alex. And so there's just things like that you can be doing that set you apart. So it's not, just like your living room or your office behind you. And it's things that within the first 1 to 2 seconds will grab people's attention, and they'll know that you're different than everybody else, and you're swimming upstream, and you are that consummate professional that they want to work with.
Yeah. Perfect. Jeff, thank you so much for your time today.
Anytime, my brother.
You're always a wealth of information. And if anyone wants to reach out to you, if they are in the Vegas area or Northern California area, there is that you work. Is there a great way for them to find you or get a hold of you?
Best way would be jeff.fargo on Instagram. I love Instagram. Beyond that, it's just do Jeff Fargo, Las Vegas. You'll find me on Facebook. Right now, my profile picture is actually something like this, I think, but the goat is actually on my daughter, perpendicular. So they got that going on too. So Facebook, Instagram are probably the best ways. Just DM me and I'll get back to you. And really, even though I work for North American Title and run their stuff, digitally, it doesn't matter to me if you already have an existing relationship with another title company. I'm a karma guy. And so if you're struggling with something, it doesn't matter to me that you use XYZ title. It's just more of, if I know that I'm working with you or giving you advice, there's a higher chance I think you're going to do it right. And just because I've gotten up and shaved every day longer than most people have at doing this. So I'm happy to offer my resources gratis. This is what I do. So
awesome. Jeff, thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Welcome, my friend.
Stay safe. Talk to you soon.
You as well. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.